Well, I can borrow one of mine if you want.
Don't tempt me because I will not say no for a free monitor to borrow.
Yeah, it's very small, but
Well, I'm playing on a 21-inch, so
okay. So we'll talk about the monitors later.
mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm always fine with my character.
Need to find something to drink, eat, then most of the time.
I am set. I have drinks, I have coffee, I have cigarettes.
I'll have to make a run sometime later when my drink is off. It's over.
That's fine.
I'm pretty sure we're going to have a bathroom break eventually.
Yeah. Um,
Can I put the sensitivity of the mic less
yes, on
low?
Discord. You can.
Yeah, because every time I chew on something, you hear, and I don't. It's not good for me.
You want me to set push to talk?
Yeah, I have push to talk. I'll use that.
Oh, you want me? I was asking if you want me to set push to talk.
No, it was about me, not
Okay,
you.
okay. I'm still doing some stuff as well. I wasn't paying 100% attention.
That's fine. I'll just wait until people say they're ready then.
I'm ready.
Ready?
Ready?
Give me a second. I'm trying to set the zoom at 100%. For some reason I cannot.
Try from the menu on the left. The one with the drawing.
You want to remind me the blue icon. So you have health for
Thank you.
red, green for resources, and blue for perception, right?
Passive perception, yes.
Okay.
Just in case you fail to see something I've put in your route.
I'm ready when you are.
Okay. Well, let's get this show on the road then.
This is nice.
Can you see the new map?
Yep.
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 Caravan.
Camp.
Okay, so here we go. Traveling on the road is a dangerous affair, and for any seasoned traveler, there is wisdom in not traveling alone. As such, people often band together to brave the dangers of the road in groups. That is where you all meet, as part of a longer traveling caravan of carts, wagons, and people traveling by foot. For the most part, you all take turns scouting for dangers by the day, then sleep a bit more peaceful at night. On one such evening, you all find yourself grouped together around a campfire, with some stew in your hand. Looking across the bonfire, you scan the faces of the people around. You may now introduce yourselves to one another.
Hey guys, how are you doing?
Good. Sweet. Interested in the characters. Just a little bit.
Been a long journey.
Yeah. And I've been carrying this full with me all the way as well. But he pays coins. So
I just grunt.
You did what?
I just grunt. I when at Pete's comment.
Uh,
For the record, I'll be playing the role of Jaffa's character.
okay, okay.
Okay.
I think this is the perfect situation to start describing yourselves, at least in terms of how you look like. Perhaps not as much in terms of secret hopes and dreams, but just literally, how does your character actually look like? I think we can go ahead by doing it in the order clockwise around the map. So Jaffa's character would be first, then Surreal, Cubic, Pete, and Malice. That sounds okay by everyone else?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Across you sits a guy that has fairly long brown hair, um, more of a like paler, pinkish type of skin tone that you would see in most people. Seemed to be in his 30s, with brown eyes, a bit of a medium build, nothing in particular that seems to stand out. Human. He's dressed in what can best be described as a mixture of furs and cloth. There's no particular armor here, it's just like cape, robes, some fur and linings here and there. Uh, Seems to be more focused on eating rather than conversing. Introduces himself as Rardar, and yeah,
Hold on.
Rorda? How do you pronounce that, guy? If I can
Rardar.
ask you.
I cannot pronounce it. I'll let Jaffa pronounce it later.
Oh, okay.
He didn't want me to tell you much, so I'm just describing the character and the name since he didn't want to be a talkative.
Can we take notes or something in
Of course.
this Roll20?
Yes.
No, in Roll20, I mean, directly in the website tab. I mean, if not, I can start a text document and write in it. It's no problem.
You can.
How? Where?
Yeah.
I think one needs to enable it at where you have the player character screen that he can enable a note as well.
Yes, but I don't have the time to do that now, so I would strongly recommend you to start a notepad or Word document for the time being.
Yeah.
I will
I'm,
have to do that.
I'm doing that, no worries. I just have to ask you to repeat his name, Rargar or something.
It's written in Roll20 in the chat. Rardar.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
But yeah, this is like one of those people that seem to have been looking a bit to himself and seem a bit more aloof and has his own focus on stuff.
Okay, next to him then sits a rather grumpy old man, pretty much at least 40, 40 and something. He's he has a lot of hair on his face, as you can see on the avatar, but he looks like a tough guy, like a survivor. He's normally built, so has some weird physique, but the interesting thing about him is that one of his arms is very strange. It's very thin, very scarred and awkward looking, like bones sticking away from the under the skin, and he has only 3 fingers on the on that hand. It looks very, how should I say, very necrotic. Otherwise, he's just like a normal guy, even a little bit beautiful, you would say. But he definitely looks like he has seen quite a lot. He's wearing normal armor, nothing out of the ordinary for a fighter. Like he seems like a fighter, but who knows? And his name is Lucian, and he comes from far, far away.
Okay.
Hello.
So, hello.
Go on. Next.
Okay. So there's a young guy in his 30s in front of you all. He's medium built, a bit tall, with a very light tan and a long blonde hair. He has a large grin on his face and has a cigar almost all the times, which you don't see it in the avatar because I couldn't find one with a cigar. Apparently not for kids. And he's wearing some sort of leather things on him. And he has blue eyes. That's all I can say for him right now. And his name is Assam.
Hello.
Okay, and mine obviously is quite a tall guy, quite well built. He has a few scars, so he's clearly been in a few fights. He is dressed in a mixture of mail armor and he has a black cloak. And despite his distant and slightly aggressive demeanor, he carries a lot of religious art like items. Like he has a cross on his necklace. He's clearly a very religious guy.
And his name is.
So yeah, Benjamin.
Hello, Benjamin.
So Benjen's character is Benjen, right?
Yes. Virgil, I've seen your message. I have no clue what icons you're talking about. I can't reply
Okay.
either.
Don't worry.
Um, Next to Benjen, a bit like on the furthest log from the campfire, stands guy in his close to his mid-30s. Looks a lot older than he actually is. Um, has a disgusting scar over half of his face. Clearly, he's been in a lot of shit. Wears chainmail armor and has a very raggedy tunic over it, covering the chainmail. But you can hear it underneath the tunic that there's a chainmail underneath. He usually wears a helmet most of the time, but when he's relaxing, he doesn't wear it, and you can see he has short yet blonde fair hair, like not not as blonde as Lucian, but definitely on the fair side. Has one hazel eye, and the other one is white underneath the scar because it was blinded. Medium sized and pretty hefty build, but also medium stature. So he's not very tall yet not very short either. Keeps to himself most of the time and pretty wary of the people around him. He tries not to get inside the arguments or conversations. And his name is Manis.
Okay. Now, assuming this entire session takes a while and you chat and you eat the stew, which by all
Oh, I forgot to
means
say,
is
and I'm sorry, Yuan, and he's like obsessively chewing on a piece of bread, like way longer than he's supposed to. Like that's a thing. Like he always has some loaf of bread he's chewing on. Sorry, I forgot to
no,
say that.
perfectly fine. Um, the stew is filling enough, not like the most tasty variant, but it's filling and it's a hearty dinner meal. Um, the night is going to be growing late, so looking on the map, do any of you have special preferences if you want to be near the horses, lie and sleep closer to the river, stuff like that?
I like to be closer to the forest.
Could you like hold the map and with that left click so I can see where the ping is?
Log, press left click.
Yeah.
That's, that'll be my idea because I've got a little shiny object. So it's like
Do we need to
gold.
select actual beds or?
No, doesn't matter. You have your own bedrolls and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Most of you, I think. You notice that the fellow named Rardar ends up like going closer to the river and a bit closer to himself, all the while trying to looking up at the sky and see where it's mostly
Mostly what?
ocean, mostly open
Ah,
sky.
okay. Sorry, because you cut off.
I'll sleep with the horses.
In their feeding pile?
You are not. It's like soft, right?
I'm not sure if I can see Madness's ping since it's black, but
No, you can.
Yeah, I can see them.
Oh, no. Leave my character there. There was a point to the madness.
okay, sorry. You just pinged close to Pete, so
Ah.
I was just like, oh.
No, I just ping because I wanted you to see my ping, but I can move the character.
That's fine.
Since the night is young and most people around are sleepy and tired, I offer that I'll take the first watch and keep the fire going.
Actually, you see quite a number of other people on guard duty tonight because there are plenty of other people in this caravan as well,
Oh, so I can go sleep.
owning the horses. So for this part, the shifts will be taken by other people in the caravan.
Okay, got it.
And you've seen a number of other people here. There's like families traveling with like a bit more teenage children. You have your merchants going, people that are just like you, adventurers or travelers trying to seek their luck from city to city, town to town. Um, yeah, there's doesn't seem to be much uh, different from this little group of people than most of these roadside caravans that you end up tagging along throughout your lives. Um, they're quite. The night grows late, and the woods are quite quiet. You can hear the water from the river just like have a slow but steady hum far away. You can feel the air growing chill as night sets in. You can hear the sputtering and crackle of the bonfire as just like this mist starts gathering around the edges of your camp and growing closer and closer as the night wears on. By morning, however, the fog hangs thick in the air, turning the trees around you into almost like grey ghosts. That's when you start noticing those are not the same trees that you were surrounded by earlier in the morning. Earlier last night, I mean. In fact, here I want you all to roll an initiative check to see who wakes up first.
Can you tell us how to do that?
You open your character slot and you have underneath where your name is, you see armor class, initiative, and speed. You click on the initiative and it automatically
No,
rolls.
you click on your token first, and then you click on your.
Oh, yeah, correctly. Sorry. If you don't
Uh,
click on your token first, it just rolls initiative like that. It doesn't place it in the left side. If you click your token first, it will do as it did for Virgil.
Can you repeat this? So I click on the token, then what?
Okay. Click on your token.
Okay.
Do you have your character sheet up?
No.
Get your character sheet up.
Yes, okay, now I have it.
Now press the button that says initiative. It will be a clickable part on the word initiative.
Where is that one? I'm
It's
searching
next to
for
the
it.
armor class above the HP.
And
Mid-
under your name.
Middle
Okay.
column. The,
Yeah, middle
with
column.
the
Yeah,
gray
Believe
it
background.
is.
it's Manis.
Could you add mine?
No.
Yuan, what's your view on? So I didn't click on my token first and rolled an 18. This doesn't matter for now, but in the future. And then obviously I clicked on my token and rolled a 1. Would
In
you take
terms
the first
of
roll?
attack rolls or saving throws or anything like that, I would take the first one. I'm just doing it this way now to get you all adjusted to doing this on your own,
Yeah.
because you can edit these on your own. But
Okay,
So,
okay.
I will take the first roll.
So when we get it playing properly, you would take the 18 over the 1.
Yes, I would have taken the 18 over the
Perfect.
1. If it's on the map. If you transition from day to night or something like that, you would roll
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
But
Uh,
that's going to be case by case bound. Jaffa says that he'll try to watch your stream, Manis, to keep up if you're streaming.
I am. He can click on it right now.
Okay, so
so
judging by the order, it will be Assam being the first waking up, then Lucian, then Vardar, then Manis, and then Benjen. So, Assam, you are probably the one person that's like used to looking over your shoulder when you need to, or you're good at being on guard. So your eyes flutter open a bit before the others. You hoist yourself up, you look around, you notice a few things. Instead of like the more different type of oak trees you were surrounded by the night before, there are more pines here scattered across this forest. The clearing you're in, much smaller than the one the night before. All the carts are gone, the wagons are gone, the horses, there's not a trace of anything at all. In fact, and this is the point where you start freaking out a bit, you don't actually see anything else. Your leather armor, gone. Your weapons, gone. Backpack, gone. In fact, besides what you were wearing in terms of clothing and basic like wearables, they're all gone. You're left a human standing around in the dawn of morning, just almost defenseless. And this is where uh, Lucian would be waking up.
okay.
Should
I have a question. When you say gun, do you mean we need to remove them from our
No, don't
character?
remove anything. But you
Okay.
do not have them on you as we speak.
So I only have what I went to sleep with, like
Yes.
a dagger or something. I still have it because I slept with it. If I would have said that I've slept with it.
If you're the paranoid type of person that ends up having a dagger under your pillow, then sure.
Yes, I.
If you had like a war mole, then no,
No,
you would
just
not.
a
But a
dagger.
dagger, sure. Not allowed.
Okay.
should we roleplay now or?
Yes.
Uh, uh, this is where only two of you are waking up.
Lucian, they stole our shit house. What are we going to do now?
Okay, when I hear you, I wake up and I immediately fling for my weapon, but it's gone. And I'm looking around and I'm saying, where the hell is everybody?
The sudden input of like voices and movement starts stirring the rest of the party as well. You are now all considered awake.
I wake up, I straddle myself on my hands, looking around a bit confused, not seeing my stuff, not seeing the cards, seeing the completely different setting. I just get up and start walking around the clearing and trying to get my bearings.
In terms of like scenery, uh, it's like a forest, man. It's like a small clearing. There's a little dirt track leading towards what seems to be a bit of a muddy roadway uh, just off this clearing. But other than that, this particular clearing is fairly uninteresting as clearings go. There's some rocks here, there's some dirt, there's a lot of grass, bushes. Uh,
I'm.
Lucian, yeah, go ahead. Nice.
I wanted to say I was trying to get a bearing, like where's north, whether we are at the same altitude as we were before, whether if I recognize or not the trees and the kind of vegetation around me.
you can do like a quick scouting around the camp if you want to.
Mm-hmm.
Um, do you want? I'll say two people are allowed to roll a survival check here.
I was about to look around the camp and search for clues of maybe footsteps of the people that stole our gear and where the whole caravan went.
Okay, so
I keep
uh,
double clicking on it. Sorry, I need to change my mouse. The World of Warcraft mouse is way too big for this.
okay, does
Should I?
one other player want to join
How?
the survival if you're good at survival?
I'm good at survival. I can do it.
Then click the survival skill in your character sheet. With a 10 and a 14. Oh, for those of you that don't know, it shows double rolls here. If you have advantage, the highest number counts. If you have disadvantage, the lowest number counts. If you have neither, so it's just a straight roll, it's always the left one. So the 10 for Menace and the 14 for Suriel is in effect. With a 10 and a 14, you quickly scout through the surrounding greenery. There are no traces of your items. There are no traces of footprints or tracks or anything of sorts in and around this particular clearing. One of you end up going to the road, and that is actually traveled. You can see uh, wheel tracks. So there's a cart or there's a wagon of sorts. Several of them, in fact. You can see animal tracks, you can see footprints. There have been people traveling by the muddy road next to the clearing. But as so far in the clearing itself, it seems pretty abandoned up until the point you uh, magically appeared.
Okay.
I
Lucian, okay,
know
go ahead.
Manus, but one of the things that is absolutely noticeable here is that it's eerily quiet. In fact, um, you don't really hear much in terms of uh, noises from birds. What you could hear last night from the river going by in a steady little roar, all gone. In fact, all the sounds that you would expect from a normal, lively forest is absent. With the 14 roll, Lucian, you notice something that is making it difficult to navigate in terms of uh, the sky, the sun, and such. It's a misty morning. In fact, it's quite dense mist as well.
quite what? Quite
Like misty.
tense? Quite twisty? What does it mean?
Misty,
M
misty.
I S T.
Oh, misty, okay. Well, I don't know, but Lucian just turns back to the others and says, guys, this is not possible. There are no tracks anywhere. How the hell did we get here? Who took our gear? Where are all the tracks? Where the hell are we?
One of the first thing that Pete, Benjamin feels is that when he goes down on his knee and start praying to whatever he believes in, it feels different. Praying to you has always given you some form of feeling of completion inside. This morning feels a lot more hollow than usual. Malice, stomping on the twig. The one thing you notice is that the k of the twig snapping is noticeably louder than you would expect it to be. It sounds like the sound carries on far further than you would expect, and it seems very loud and noticeable.
I smell magic.
For you, Lucian, mornings are your favorite part of the day. One of the things you notice is that the light seems a bit dimmer than usual. The mist that you can see uh, everywhere around you gives the whole world around you a bit of a hazy feel, where it's like there's this white light of a sun far away being covered by smoke or mist or something like that, blocking it out.
Okay. How high is this mist? Am I able to climb on a tree and try to go above the mist?
If you're going to try to, um, are you asking if you can climb above the up in the trees to go above the mist?
Yes.
Make a perception check or find a tree and make an athletics check.
I'll make a perception check.
I'll try to get a vantage point.
Um, from where you are, I don't think you could find a tree large enough to be able to um, climb that high. And don't get me wrong, the trees in this forest are gigantic. They are very much looming and massive all around you. But even if you were to somehow climb to the top of them, you get the sense that the mist isn't like some clouds around you. It's thicker than what you'd expect. It's studying it. It's almost as if it seems denser and reacting to your movements.
So natural.
So unnatural.
Yeah.
Too bad we don't have a mage. They might have told us what's going on.
Um,
But isn't
uh,
isn't not Sam but
Actually,
Radar a mage?
you see the more silent person among you, looking up, drawing like a sharp breath, trying to like close their eyes, check for energies. And you see him recoil a bit in confusion. In fact, it's as if he feels something he's not felt before. You see him a bit startled, confused. But he doesn't seem certain of what's happening. He says, magic? Um, maybe. Maybe not.
That doesn't help us much.
Maybe.
Guys, should we follow the road? Maybe find some other humans and try to speak to them. Maybe they know what's happening.
Before we do so, does anyone remember how we ended up here? Because I do remember back when we settled down in the camp, neither of us were close to each other. And now, you could draw a line to where we woke up.
In fact, as Manny says that, you all kind of look around the ground for the indentations of your bodies into this dirt and the part of the clearing that gives off tracks. And he's right. It's almost as if you've been lined up somehow.
And there's no drag marks either. Like, I don't know about you, but I don't expect anyone is able to carry me without dragging my feet on the ground.
And I don't remember passing out when I slept. I would have felt something. What if we are arranged in a line because for a reason? Maybe it points somewhere.
It might. It's a good answer as any.
I still think that we should follow the road. I don't think we should stay here. We need to find gear and prepare for tonight. If we are gonna be left here like defenseless, there might be wild animals around us. We don't hear anything, but still they might be prowling.
I'm not planning on spending the night here. Out of all the things, I think the safest bet is to move around and not let anyone that dragged us here know we're in the same place. So it's better if we head out.
Can we examine the road that's ahead of us? You said that there are some tracks on it, like it has been used.
Yes. Only you, or does everyone follow the little track to their?
I get him and follow.
Just for the sake of it, so I know who's moving.
I just want to see the road and decide whether this is like human tracks, beast tracks, what it has been used by.
All of you notice this. As you start walking, nothing really changes. You start moving like 20, 30, 40 feet. And then you all seem to be aware that the fog, this misty fog around you, seems to be drawing closer. As you're going down to the um, road, you see it veer leftwards from you, so that the tracks and wagons are all going in the same direction. There are no tracks going the other way, they are all funneling leftwards.
Okay. Guys, if you are about to find any civilization here, I bet we should follow the tracks, and but stealthily, because we don't know if whatever was using this route is hostile to us or not. Maybe it was our captors, our robbers mostly.
Manis, as you're kneeling down to touch the car tracks, one of the first thing you notice is that it is not fresh in terms of this just happened, but it's fresh in the sense that a few days ago, of sorts. You're not sure within the last week these tracks would have been put into the mud. So, not recent. There's not enough splashage in this uh, mud to be able to be that, but it's set in. So it's like parts of it have actually dried out already, implying it would have been closer to like 5 to 7 days, perhaps.
Okay, it's clearly it was raining when these people ran through here, and it's clearly they made a very hastily retreat. Judging by the orientation and the depthness of the tracks, I would say that everyone was running away from something
Actually,
in the
that is
middle
wrong.
of a pouring rain.
That is wrong. In terms of like footprint distance, it seems to be a steady walking pace. There is no running leaps or anything. It seems what you'd expect from a caravan or a wagon train or something like that.
So the trucks are going away from the site we ended up on, only
It's
away.
it's more like the site you're on is just at the side of the road.
And the road
It's
is down from us or to the left, to
it
the right of us.
it would be under the picture of the map,
Okay,
going left and right under it, but it doesn't show.
so it's like a refuge where they would have slept at some point.
This would probably be an ideal camping site, for instance, but judging by how you scouted around, you didn't see any tracks.
All right. Lucian goes to the other end of the fork. The left one was it, or the right one? The one that has any tracks on it, and
Tracks go
tries to
left.
see if it's absolutely clean. There is not a single track on it.
From the right or from where they came or for where they're going?
Mm, I saw that you said that there is a fork. One has tracks, the other has doesn't.
No, it's literally a road, but this is like this. You're in a side road right now. That's like 40 meters or 30 meters or something into this clearing.
Can you see the
Oh,
arrow?
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is where the road and the road is goes that way.
Ah, okay. So if we turn left, we go through the tracks. If we turn right, it's against them. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh, one thing Pete notices, since Benjamin notices, since Lucian is a bit preoccupied studying the tracks, Benjamin notices that the mists that seem to be drawing closer to you now seem to be coming closer to you with what seems to be tendrils grabbing towards you.
So with that, then I say, guys, move quick, and then I just like look towards the tendrils.
Okay. I turn around and see the tendrils and try to jump away from them.
In fact, Assam seems to, as you're turning around, you can see what literally seems to be wispy tendrils just manifesting into like misty hands coming towards you and trying to grab you.
It's time to move.
Yeah, let's run from it.
Agreed.
Is it just coming from that side or it's surrounding us?
It seems to be coming from all directions. And when you like run towards the road, you can see this thick, heavy wall of fog seems to be coming in from the right side, where the tracks came from, and start slowly closing in on you from that direction as
We have to run to the left. Maybe the fog is full of some kind of magic that we shouldn't touch.
I go ahead.
I shout to everybody, run to the left.
you start panicking, running, Lucian. You see the Rardar keeping suit, panically looking at what he seems to be sensing from the fog.
As they both try to panically run past me, I grab them both by the shoulder, like hard, stopping them, and saying, "Splitting up now will make more problems than it will solve."
What does Assam and Benjin do?
I will try to run from this
I'm
way. That way.
Yeah, what do you mean by that? You mean where I
Yeah.
pushed you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
You get on the road. Do you go away from the fog or into the fog?
Away.
Away.
Okay. I'm just going to leave it on this map for a bit. Because like this is just literally story time and it's just going to be stuck on this map. But we're assuming that you're shuffling away from the fog as fast as you can, and as you're moving, yeah, you're going in the same direction with the track now. Yes, if you're heading away from the mist. Um, like turning behind you at some point, you see yourself gaining and gaining more time. The fog keeps creeping forward, but it's slow, much slower than all of you. So you stop sprinting a bit, and then you just like walk, and you see you're still slowly gaining ground. But you see it's still coming and coming and coming relentlessly after you. Um, as you're walking along, though, occasionally trying to spot the fog, at some point the road starts winding a bit, and uh, everything goes uh, hard to see as you're smack in the middle of a forest. There are black pools of water that are like darkened mirrors alongside the road, obviously from some rainfall or something not long ago. You can see these giant trees of pines and other types you've never seen before. They seem to be uh, uh, like gigantic natural walls alongside this road, and their branches seem to be like clawing up at the mist above you. Inside the trees, it's dark. It's hard to look through. Uh, Sometimes you uh, hear a bird or something in the distance. Sometimes you see uh, movement of sorts on the ground. Other times you feel you see the mist. As Assam looks around on the tracks and trying to, as you're following those, they do seem to be still visible. Nothing has changed in that regard.
Okay.
Keep following the tracks.
We should keep following the tracks as they seem to lead away from the wall of mist. Maybe they were escaping the same thing that we are, and if we find them, we can get more information on what happened. Maybe find out what got us here and where here is.
And you follow. And this road is long. After an hour or so, you quickly get the sense that this forest is huge. In fact, for those of you that are not very much used to the roadside and forest type of areas. Oh, it surprises you very much. This is well different from uh, what you'd expect from a city or plains type of landscapes. Assam, roll a perception check. Looking around, uh, you hear like things like animals and such, but you don't see any. But there's this little scratch behind your head that is this nagging feeling of being watched. As to what that is, you're not sure. You can't see anything in particular. But it feels like there's something out there.
So we begin to hear the forest sounds. We didn't
Yes.
hear anything in the
You
initial.
have so for some time.
Okay.
Once you got far enough away from the clearing, you started hearing the odd bird here and there, and you're now into this area where there's a lot more forest life as you're used to.
Okay. And you said that I hear some scratching with that
No, it's
hand.
like a third. There's like a sixth sense of sorts.
Oh, okay. I understood now.
Something bothers you, but you don't know what.
Okay. We keep following the tracks, I guess. Anybody?
I notice that
Yeah.
Assam is feels a little bit distracted, and I ask what's happening. Why is he looking at the forest?
I have this nagging feeling that we are being watched, and I keep looking in the forest. Maybe I can see something to tell us what and why and
It's
but I see
probably
nothing.
it's probably the same thing that's in the mist trying to grab us. We should keep going.
Yeah, I don't think we should risk exploring anything. We should stay together and keep moving.
Wish I had my Warhammer right now.
If it was friendly, it would show itself. If it's not friendly, we should keep moving.
Maybe it's friendly, but he doesn't know that we are friendly to him.
Yeah, but it's better safe to be than sorry.
I can speak from experience that nothing that lives in the mist is friendly.
But the mist has resided. We're now. Seems like the forest is keeping it away, at least for now. If you guys want, we can check this out. But just if this is just a feeling, I mean, we might be losing time to the mist.
Let's
Unless anyone's
continue.
against it, I'm just following the tracks. Yeah, I agree. Follow.
Okay,
Let's
let's
follow
move,
the
guys.
tracks.
Are you intending to follow the tracks as far as you can, or are you wanting to be notified of distractions or
Notify.
things that seem different?
Notified.
Yeah, notified.
And also, if there are some crossroads in the along the road.
Parentheses, we should all do a perception check just to have a passive perception selected.
No, you should have two people. I'll only allow one of you to roll with advantage if the party helps out, or two people will do it.
Okay, Lucian says that he is experienced in survival. He has been in all kinds of situations through his life, so he volunteers to lead the way forward.
I have no I have no argument against that.
Yeah.
If one of you want to help him, he can roll with advantage. Or
I'll
one of you,
I can
or one
help.
of you can roll as well. Depends on how you want to do this.
I'll help him roll with an advantage.
Yeah.
Okay, Azuriel.
Okay.
Sorry, Lucian.
Yeah.
Roll a perception check. Who's helming the group? Who's looking at the tracks and doing the survival check among you?
I will do the survival check.
Anyone else want to assist?
Can I assist or I'm
Yeah, you can.
already
No,
busy?
no. He's doing.
I'm already busy, right?
I can assist.
Also, Manis, you couldn't either. It
Yeah,
would be
he's
one of you.
helping me.
Okay.
So I can look at the tracks, right?
If you want to.
Yes.
If Benjamin or Radar wants to help, they will speak out.
I'll help. I'll give you advantage.
Okay?
So I need to roll what?
Survival. Just a basic survival one. Okay. Um, with Assam and Benjamin's tracking skills, you make way fairly fast through this forest. Uh, looking around, it is very much a dense forest. Sometimes it clears up a bit, so you can see that you can take a shortcut through the trees to get to the road on the other side. And you do that, and it shaves off some walking distance. As for surroundings, you don't come across any forks in the road at all. There's
We, we,
nothing in particular here that seems uh, unnatural or out of the ordinary. You see some animals. At some points, you end up seeing birds. You end up seeing a deer peeking out from one of the bushes and then just like startled by seeing you all darts back into the forest. Uh, you think you see some form of rodent creatures running around inside the brush, but you can't quite see what the hell it was. It was just tiny.
And I'm trying to look around for food, like any forest fruits, berries, things like that.
Uh, you haven't really walked into the forest.
Anything beside the road?
No, it's not something you'd find a lot of just by the road. As for Assam's question, yeah, they look scared of you.
okay.
So, like, your movements, at least the ground animals, seem to be very much startled by you when you're coming across.
They
The
look like
birds,
they
they just seem to be sitting up in the trees and, like, well, tweeting and, like, flying around and just, like, minding their own business.
Where is the fog now? Is it far back or?
and
With
the
all,
wall.
with all the winding curves of the road, and from how the fact that you've now been on the road for about 3 hours or so, uh, you haven't seen the mist or the fog in a long time, but it is above you. It blots out the sky.
Does it block out the sun as well?
Yes, you
So
can
it's pitch black darkness?
no, you can feel the sun behind it, and you can see where the sun would be. It's just like a
Ah, okay, okay.
gray type of sheet blocking it through. So it's not dim light even. It's just like hazy-ish.
Is it just as unnatural silence as it was earlier, or that just happens in the fog?
No, it's reassuring to hear all the happy tweets and stuff like that of birds. But otherwise, there are the sounds you hear are not sounds most of you are familiar.
Quick question before we continue. Can I rejoin the game for like 5 seconds? So I want to have my picture and name updated so it matches.
Perfectly fine.
Sure.
Give me 1 second then.
The fog eats Lucian alive.
It says 0 again. I think
Um,
it's Lucian.
no. If you go into the chat box at the Roll20, underneath where there's the checkbox, there's a thing called as, and you can select whether you want to be as Zuriel or as your character.
Okay, thank you.
But that doesn't change your name, just your.
Yeah, it doesn't change your name then,
Okay.
just your icon, and
No,
it
no.
changes this.
I mean, I see that Jaffa changed his avatar to harder. I want to change my avatar to
That's
Lucian.
the display name, which you do by the cogwheel in the upper right corner. Display name.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I updated the picture as well. Haha.
Are you pressing on?
Yes. In character, we should go on. I don't think that it's a good idea to stop here and wait for the fog to catch up with us. We should go until we find either a larger road or we get our bearings to see where we are.
Are we still following the tracks? Are the tracks the same as before?
They, since you've been trying to both follow the tracks and scout around, and yes, they seem to be equally old to the tracks you originally saw. They seem to be the same type of tracks. They seem to be the same amount of tracks because Pete, not Pete. Shit, this is going to take a while.
It's
Benjen and
Benjen.
Assam has spent some time counting the tracks as well and trying to figure out how many wagons, and they've come to the conclusion that there's at least 6 or 7 wagons in play here,
I have
with
a question.
at
Did the
least
tracks,
20 people walking.
did the number of the, let's say, detective person on the tracks or wagons increased during this? Like something else joined them, or it's the same?
Seems to have been static from the way you've been following.
Okay,
There hasn't
guys,
seemed to be anyone coming in from the sides or so.
this could be our own caravan. Like 6 or 7 caravans, 20 people. This looks like the size of our own caravan. Maybe this our people. Maybe we just they just passed through here for some reason. I don't know.
And just left us there.
Maybe we just blacked out and we were stuck there for a few days.
We should also think of maybe we'll require some food at the end of the day. Maybe
Yeah,
we
that
can
I was.
try and look around for berries or small creatures that we can
Do we
track,
have
kill.
any weapons or something that we
I
can
have a
hunt the game with?
I have a dagger, and that's all.
Anyone else? Something? I don't think we have. We'll be able to kill a deer with a dagger.
Rardar shakes his head.
Hmm. Maybe rather can use some spell to hunt game.
From where you have your past breakfast time, uh, it's not noticeable enough to be super hungry, but there's like this tinge of hunger in your stomach. Sure, you guesstimate you've been walking for 3.5 hours at this point.
Okay, let's keep moving, and we'll. If we don't find anything in the next several hours, we have to think about where we gonna end up tonight.
Seems as you're pushing on then.
Do we need to re-roll something or?
No, we're just continuing it. Um, as you're walking for another 10-15 minutes, you see the fog spilling out of the forest, trying to swallow up the road in front of you and behind you. It's like it's starting to push in from the sides, suddenly reappearing, even if you haven't seen it for a while. You kind of break into a sprint to try to get ahead of the fog so it doesn't close off in front of you. Sorry, I'm just like.
It's time to run.
Sorry, I was just looking at the chat. Like, you could have set some traps and stuff, yeah, but it seems like you were pushing on. You run, and it's like you're getting ahead of the fog, and you're getting ahead of the fog, and ahead, jutting out from the impenetrable wood on both sides of the road, there seemed to be something in front of you. You push on further and further away from the fog, and you can see stone, high stone buttresses looming grey in the fog. In fact, coming closer, you see this is stonework. There are huge iron gates here hanging on what seems to be a stone wall. There seems to be dew that clings on with cold tenacity to the bars that are pretty rusted. There are two statues of armed guardians flanking the gate. They are gigantic and, surprisingly, headless. Their heads are now lying among the weeds at their feet, and they seem to be greeting you silently. If you're curious to how it looks like, you will find it in your handouts.
Looks cool.
Hmm.
Okay, Lucian ows in front of this massive stonework and asks around him, "Has anyone seen this or heard about this? It's supposed to, if this is supposed to be an unknown thing, right? It's not like something that's ordinary."
Do we recognize the location of it? Have any of us read about it or heard about it before?
Exactly.
Uh, those among you are allowed to roll a history check with no limitations as to how many.
Uh,
So I select my character and I click on history.
so we can all just throw history.
Everyone is allowed to roll history, yes.
Just call me the historian.
Amongst you, a lot of people have spent time dallying with history, either as a part of uh, studies or just simply fascination involving your trade. And all of you recognize the symbolism here. These statues is often meant to either ward off someone as a sign of uh, beware, this is protected, or it can just be like a historical significance in terms of these are heroes of our past. You scan the heads, you scan the armor, you scan the any type of insignia or symbol you can see. And while the armor seems to be your average plate mail, the swords seems to be your average great swords, the faces are very much unrecognizable. This doesn't align with anything you've seen, and neither of the faces uh, come to mind as something you've learned about. Um, you see a symbol of a raven on the hilts on one of the great swords, and for instance, um, Benjen, you know that uh, ravens can be creatures that are in some cultures seen as fortune bringers, whereas Assam, you've learned of them as being ominous creatures and harbinger of faith. So there doesn't seem to be much talking amongst you. There doesn't seem to be much common ground here. Your different cultures, your different history, knowledge tends to not give you any answers, just a whole lot of questions.
So these faces on the stones, they're unrecognizable by any of us?
Yes.
Can we detect if it was like signs of a battle that got those heads down, or they were removed by the people because they turn against the leaders and they don't want their heads there?
Or just by time?
Yes, or just by time?
Um, Give me a perception check from the two of you.
Where is perception? Okay.
The first thing you do notice is that this area is in a state of disrepair. I mean, like overgrown walls with moss, rusted bars, statues that have not been polished or anything. And this has the aged feel to it. However, Lucian, it strikes you as unnatural that the heads of both statues have fallen off at the same time. Why did the heads fall off instead of, for instance, the sword or a leg or something like that? It from where you're standing, it would be hard to see if there's like someone has gone up there and chopped at it with pickaxes or something, but it seems odd from where you're standing that these would be naturally falling off at the same time.
I guess these were intentionally cut off then. Something didn't want to desecrate this protection site.
Can we take a look at the door to see if it was used recently? Because this is the path that the tracks led us to, right?
Yes, and
Do they go
um,
through the door actually?
the tracks seem to be all going through the opened door. Yes, they lead up to the doors and through the doors.
And the doors look like they haven't been used in a while, right?
Seem to have
As
been stuck in this position. Yeah.
Guys, let's not split up. Do you want us to just move next to the door and just peek through it?
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
how long has it passed since we woke up?
4 hours.
4 hours or so. Yeah, it would
Okay,
be
middle of the
assuming
day.
you wake up early morning as you're used to when traveling in a group. It should be roughly noon. If your sense of time is warped, it would be perhaps closer to the middle of the day. You're not sure.
Okay. Can I also set some traps, as Manny said, for the small animals, where we take a look at the door and see what's going on?
Do we even have traps? I thought we were stripped of our stuff.
We can make some traps with twigs and vines if we have enough high enough survival rate.
Remember that fog you were running feverishly from as it was closing in on you?
Yeah, we don't have time for the traps, man.
Okay. No traps. Let's go to the door then.
I'm just saying that for the two of you that rolled perception, you do actually see it in the 20 seconds you've stopped to look at this place. It is catching up, slowly but steadily.
Is it coming from a single direction, or is it closing on us from various
All
directions?
directions.
Okay, let's run to the door and like peek through. Let's see what's on the other side, guys. We don't have time to waste.
Let's go to the door then.
Who's first?
Do we need to roll initiative or something?
No. Who's going first?
I'll go first.
Is it dark there in
No.
the door?
Manis, as he pushes forward, like, first thing he notices is that it just seems to be more forest and more beyond these gates, but he doesn't see any fog. He sees bushes. He sees a pile close to the road with stuff lying there, and otherwise, not much else.
Can we go through and investigate the pile of stuff to see if it's not a trap or something?
Mazis, is it safe?
Safer than what's behind.
Let's go for it.
Asan, since it seems like you were following Manis, you can roll an investigation check. Hey, you found your rapier.
Yay!
You do not find any tracks. It just seems like a whole lot of backpacks, bedrolls, armor, and everything has just been piled up in like a huge bundle here.
So it's we're not sure if it's just all of our stuff or just some pieces of it. We need to all of us to take a look, right?
Yes,
And the tracks, you said that they are not on this side of the door.
they are. They went through the doorway and.
But not near the pile.
Yeah, they just the tracks just continue down the road. The pile is to the side of the road.
Okay. So guys, I found
No.
some of our items. Come and get
Don't
yours.
touch them, man. It's too. It's might be a trap. I mean, it's not
can
like
I-
it should be laying around.
Can I look
Just
for
check
traps?
for that.
I checked for traps.
I want to check as well.
Investigation is him looking for traps. So you can look for it as well if you're paranoid.
I mean, did he already look for with his check,
Yes.
previous check? Okay.
Yes.
He's good enough for me, but okay. Forget what I said, guys. It's just go ahead.
Roll an investigation check for me, Lucian. You seem to see parts of this belongs to you or seems very similar. But it doesn't seem to be anything like wired up or that has something funny attached to it.
Okay.
What
It's
did
strange that our stuff is here. Maybe our vegan really came through here and just threw out the stuff that they didn't need because it was ours. They were just trying to go faster, maybe.
so our stuff is here? Interesting. Someone
Or
dropped it in a
possibly.
hurry.
Exactly. And because we are not with them, they don't need stuff anymore.
Who goes to check out the pod?
I'll go. Hassan.
You would have to take at least 5 minutes to like try to sort out your stuff, Manus. But yeah.
So can we go and check the pile and get our stuff?
Yeah.
Can all of us do that?
If all of you want to.
Do we
I
have
do.
to roll anything or just do it?
What did you say, Benjamin?
Do we have to roll anything or just do it?
Nope. Just sort out your stuff.
Okay.
Okay.
As you're all like heading out, you
Can some-
discuss among yourself which armor belongs to who, what weapon belongs to who, what backpack seems to be marked with your initials. Fairly easy enough to sort, and if
I
you
can't
want to, you
find
can
my
take the time to
warhammer.
look.
Your turn now.
Did you search everywhere? I
Yeah,
found my weapon.
I found the shield and everything, but I can't find the warhammer.
While they are searching, can I, if I finish, can I stay up and guard so nothing jumps on us?
You see the fog have stopped just outside the walls. And as you're looking at it, you see the gate just shut itself slowly.
Guys, I think we're trapped here.
No, it's not much of a trap. As you look around and just, it's a lot of stuff. I mean, it's a huge area.
What
Maybe the
makes
fog is stuck.
There are many types of traps.
what makes you think we are on the inside? Maybe the inside is where the fog is.
That's
Maybe
how
this
I
whole wall
perceive it.
has a magical blockade against whatever the fog contains.
It seems to be evil enough. As you saw, there was no life when we were in the fog. It's definitely evil. I can feel it.
Yes, but at least it hasn't gone in yet. Hasn't passed the walls.
Can we ask, guys, should we ask the silent wizard whether he can sense any magic around the door? What's holding the fog outside?
Yes.
The door is magic. The forest is magic. It's all magic.
This is the voice of Rarda, right?
Yes. Or at least how I envision it since she wasn't around.
And so we're in a magic forest guarded by a magic door running from a magic fog.
When
That
I
sounds weird.
tried to feel the fog, it's all magic. It's all twisted and warped, and it's like throwing a rock in water, and everything is shaped wrong, not natural.
Okay, this sounds bad.
Did we find everything? All our stuff?
Aha!
Except
My
Manny's?
warhammer.
But Manis manages to find his warhammer being stuck behind Assam's backpack, like in one of the straps. So it's just has gotten hooked and dangling off the backpack without anyone knowing.
I swear I didn't steal it.
Oh, this is a role play laugh, man. I mean, the whole group laughs at that.
Probably was intentional that I chose the rogue there.
This warhammer helped me through a lot of difficult situations. It's a lot more trusting than many of the humans I know. Trustworthy than many of the humans I know.
Oh, leave him alone. He probably thought it's someone else's and he took it. Like none of ours. Is there any stuff in the pile that doesn't belong to any of us?
Most of it.
In fact, everything here seems to be something one of you says like, "Oh, that's mine. I believe that belongs to me," and it's like, seems to be just your stuff.
Oh, just our stuff? I thought it was a bigger pile.
Oh, but I mean, it's a substantial pile if you add all your gear together. Just the armor alone would be several cubic feet.
Can I check the track marks to see here if they stayed, if they took another direction, if they split up or something like that?
Surprisingly enough, no.
Shall we follow them, guys?
In fact,
Uh,
the tracks, there seems to have been no one that veered off and put your stuff here.
but we didn't have tracks where we landed as well. Maybe our gear was the same. Maybe it was put here by whoever put us in the forest, the first place.
Magic.
Everything else seems to be magic around us, so why not magic as well here? But why put it here? Why on this road?
They would have known that we're up and coming back to get them and left them for us, but why
This
abandon us in the first place?
this would mean that this is like intentional from some sentient thing that made a decision to leave this here. It's not like coincidental.
Can we expect to be a different being than the one that first got us there?
No idea. Can I open my backpack and see if my food is there?
Yeah,
Is it there?
it's there.
Oh yeah. Okay, we will not have to hunt for food, guys. I have plenty in my backpack.
In fact, if you all spend some minutes, you can rummage through your things and find that nothing seems to have been added or added.
Or missing.
Yes.
Okay, this
I
seems
s-
weird.
I think it's time for us to go. I see no reason for us to linger here.
Can I get a 1 minute break? I need to pee. I'm
Yes.
sorry.
Yeah,
Talk
me
about
too.
break. Let's meet up in 5 minutes.
Okay,
Okay.
Ah,
great.
okay.
Thank you.
Okay, I am back.
I think everyone's took a 5 minute break.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, but I finished faster, so and since I can smoke at the computer, that's not a problem for me to be soon back here fast.
Yeah, I mean, like 5 minutes max. It doesn't matter if it's 2 or 3.
Mm-hmm.
Just gives people to do what they need to do.
I'm ready to go anyway, so I think when Zuriel's back, we can carry on.
Mm-hmm. And
Should
Virgil.
be as well, I think.
Yeah.
I thought you just said he was back.
No, he
It's
didn't.
madness.
That was me, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Ah, you guys heard Kobe Bryant died today?
What did you say?
Did you guys hear that Kobe Bryant died today?
Yeah, just reading about it a
What?
bit ago. Yeah, helicopter crash.
Yeah, 41 years of age. Oh, he died in a helicopter? I wasn't. I thought it was
Yeah.
natural.
No, helicopter crash.
Damn, that's fucked up. Welcome back, Virgil.
What did I miss?
I was talking about the fact that Kobe Bryant died.
Who's Kobe Bryant?
LA Laker point guard?
Okay. First time I heard of him.
That's impressive.
Yeah, even I heard of it, him, and I usually give a rat's ass about sport.
Exactly. Like,
Yeah, I don't give a shit about sport, so it shows.
Back.
welcome back.
Okay, we're all back then.
Hmm.
Okay.
Um, yeah,
Before we go, can I put my armor and everything in place, like start my scale mail? And I say to everybody, you should gear up, guys. We don't know what's up the road.
I agree.
you spend some time donning the armor. Uh, for you, Lucian, it takes a bit longer since you have not that helpful of an arm to help you getting in and out. It will take you.
Can somebody help him?
Yes, if they help you, you can do it at a normal pace, which is 5 minutes. Actually, 10 minutes.
So one of us can help him.
It will take Rardar 1 minute. It will take Assam 5 minutes, and for the rest of you, 10 minutes.
I have. Okay, we are all chainmails.
If all of you have heavy armor except for Assam and Rardar, then it will take you 10 minutes to take it on and 5 minutes to take it off.
I will also strap my shield to the weary hand because that's how I actually wear it. Just straps tightly to my weak arm so it doesn't fall off.
Yep, that doesn't take any extra time though.
I just say it so that people have a feeling about how weak it is.
So your shield is just for show.
No, it's actually I can use it to defend myself because most of the weight is taken from the shoulder, but I cannot use my hand to raise it too high or anything. It just hangs there and takes the hits.
Okay.
Okay, you're geared up and ready to get on.
Let's keep going.
Okay. Anything
That's
interesting around us? Can we look around for anything suspicious
I mean,
in the far distance?
you've been looking around while you've been um, gearing up and checking the pile and all that. Since you've been here for, I suppose you've been here for the better part of 20, 30 minutes perhaps, and there's no signs of uh, humans of sorts that operated the gates. They shut themselves on their own in front of you. It's just more of the monotonous, horrible forest you've been trudging through for hours. And it's some of you that are a bit like impatient, like, ugh, not more of this shit. But that is what seems to be in front of you.
Okay, let's move on then.
one question. Anything on the other side of this side of the gates in terms of shacks or some form of housing that we can learn where we are exactly?
No, there doesn't even seem to be uh, a way in to where you would expect there to be a gatehouse to operate the gate or something like that. It just seems like
Magic.
this seems to be just be the behind the back of a wall without anything, and no stairs up, nothing. It's just an inscalable wall. So it seems like the gates themselves just shut themselves normally. Curiously, uh, what you would have noticed with your perception checks and paranoia, the behind of this wall is different in terms of stonework from the other things. So it seems like someone has added to the back of this wall at some point after the front of the wall, as if someone had been bricking up or adding stuff to remove certain features from the back of this wall.
Remove or reinforce?
Remove. Like they just flattened out any details of sorts. For instance, maybe there was a guardhouse here and it just got bricked up or something like that. But now it's just like a flat wall surface that's in a different type of stonework than the front of the wall.
That sounds strange. That looks strange, actually. Anyone proficient or anyone that understands stonework? Can this be some kind of something that we can recognize as work?
What
Like
stonework would it-
History check should work as well.
No,
Like
a
is-
dwarf would be proficient in stonework knowledge. Or if you worked in a mine or something like that, but none of you did.
Yeah, I don't think so. Let's just move on. I mean, if someone removed this guardhouse, they probably had a reason for it.
Sorry.
Roll an intelligence check, Lucian, or anyone else that's curious.
I would rather go.
So how do we roll intelligence?
Just press the intelligence stat, not the saving throw, but the stat.
Like that?
Yep. You
Okay.
have no idea. Benjamin has no idea.
Mm-hmm.
So shall we continue, guys?
Lucian is unsure what a stone is.
I have no idea what this is. How do you even put the stones one on top of another? How is this even possible?
Okay. Seems like we're pushing on.
Pushing on.
Pushing on.
You end up traveling through the forest again for another dreary half an hour, just being freaking bored. You do feel yourself just
Where we
like
sup-
tiring of this forest.
Okay. Ah, I can see a part of a map.
Yes, just now switching to a new map. I'm assuming you just trod along for a while.
By the way, guys, we are in the upper right corner. If you
Yeah, I found it. Oh, I found this.
So
I think I broke the zoom button on the
do
roll
we
20.
see everything that's visible or just a small area in front of us?
We
It's
see
the
whatever
area.
is visible.
It's the area you'll see as you're trudging along. I didn't manage to set up dynamic lighting in this because it had like a shit ton of trees, so it would be horrible to set up.
and no need for the trees.
I have to draw all the trees. As you get to there, Benjen would notice it first with his passive perception and being closest. It's a scent that you're familiar with. Benjen, you're smelling the scent of death in the air.
Okay, with that, I just put up a hand, and everyone just takes notice.
Do you all go
tell
on the
us.
same way?
I think we're all behind each other, aren't we? Everybody together.
In fact, as you're stopping here, the same type of smell reaches all of you slowly. It's just Benjen's instincts and senses catching it first as he's leading up.
Okay. Lucian goes next to Benji and touches the sand. He believes he's seen this before.
I stop and wonder how Lucian can touch and see a scent.
No, the sand.
He's touching the sand. I'm just saying you catch the scent.
Oh, okay.
You
Like
touch the
smell.
sand. It seems to be small, tiny, dusty, brown-ish. It
Can I
doesn't
check?
seem to be hostile.
Can I check for traps?
Sure.
So that's investigation.
Yes. From where you are, there doesn't seem to be much of a trapped area of all. There's no tripwires, there's no pitfalls, nothing hanging from the trees. Yeah.
Okay.
Benjen, you feel, as you seem to have the strongest um, note of this scent, it seems to be coming from not far off the road, a bit to the northwest.
Okay, I just relay that to the group. I just tell them it's coming from this way.
What time of day is it?
Feels like day.
So in the afternoon, something.
Feels like in the day of some sorts. Hard to say. You can't see the sun.
No, I mean it's not mm, closer to night. It's not dusk.
It doesn't seem to have changed. It just seems to be as bright as it was this morning.
Okay.
Okay, as Lucian suggests that we check out what's over there, but as a group, not individually.
Yeah, let's go there.
Okay.
The foul scent leads you to what seems to be a human corpse. A bit half buried in the underbrush, about 15, 20 feet from the road behind some trees and some bushes. As you're approaching, it seems to be the body of what seems to be a young man. Seems to be dressed like a commoner. He has torn, muddy clothes that are all raked with claw marks.
Okay.
Can any of us remember if it was in our caravan party?
I'm not good with faces. Not as much recognizable of this one.
I
Instead
don't
of
have good
this,
memory.
I would say that none of you uh, draws knowledge of this face. Benjen, as you lean down to be closer, you do see something lying next to the body. There's a crumpled envelope uh, that seems to have been fallen out. And as you're also looking over the body, you get the sense that whatever killed this thing uh, has been something with paws, as there's a lot of like tracks around this body of several creatures on four paws that has been close to this corpse. And you can also see like a crap ton of like pecking type of wounds on the body, as if some bird of prey has just been eating at it like a carrion bird. The guy has obviously been dead for, well, a long time. Uh, you're not necessarily sure how long, but enough to give off a very noticeable foul scent of decay and rot.
What does the note say?
In your handouts, there will be appearing a note pretty.
I think he meant pretty soon. Yeah, there it is.
There we go.
Does everybody see that or just me?
Yeah, everybody's.
Okay.
I'm just going to assume that you open the envelope and read it out to people.
Yeah, yeah.
You can actually do that, I guess, as well.
Yes.
Vampires.
Looks like we have some vampires to kill. And I'm guessing we are in Barovia.
Well, at least we know where we are.
Yes. Does anybody know something about Barovia?
Not in the slightest. But vampires are vampires everywhere. Whether Sylvania, Barovia.
Is your bread with garlic or not?
Doesn't does it always?
Okay, can I check the glow marks on the dead person and decide whether this is a vampire or not? Killed by a vampire, I mean.
Roll a medicine check or a
Medicine
perception
check.
or a perception check if you want to be a bit patient.
I'll be patient.
You have the urge to go down and like investigate at the body, but you're like, that sounds weird. I shouldn't do that. And then you hear it. Howls. Several of them. This long "Ooh" coming from west in the woods. And it seems to be when one howl comes from a different direction, another howl triggers. And another. And another. And another.
Wolves,
And they all
get
seem to
ready.
be coming from different directions. And they all seem to be slowly coming from you.
Make a circle. Back to back. Don't break the line.
In fact, from far off, even further from the west in the east, you hear a choir of wolves in the distance. We're talking a couple of dozen howls just crawling out.
This is bad. We should probably hightail it out of here. Check the course, make sure there's nothing of interest left, and let's go.
Asap, go and get the whatever you can fight on the body. Let's get out of here.
What do I need to roll?
Investigation.
Like this. Do I find something interesting on the body?
Nope, you just find just some basic stuff, like some twigs and stuff like that that he has kept in his pockets. Some leaves of sorts. Uh, Otherwise, he doesn't seem to have much. No coin purses or no weapons or anything. He just seems to have been walking around with much on him.
These are the only footprints leading to this area besides us.
Um, Seems to have been like veering off the path of the road and then just running straight into the forest, and then something ended up catching him. Probably the same hounds that are now slowly stalking closer to you from the west and east.
Alright, time to go. No time to waste. Come on. I don't want to get caught by a pack of wolves in the middle of the night.
Yeah, we might end up like this guy. Let's go south.
Let's go back to the road. And maybe this guy was part of the caravan and got spooked into the woods where the wolves took
No,
him.
no, he has a letter from like a some board of a kind where he took it and he probably was searching for this vampire to win a reward or
Howls are
something.
coming closer.
Let's go to the road.
Let's go now. Let's go south.
Okay, move yourselves. I just need to.
In the meanwhile, I pull out my warhammer and my shield.
Start double timing it, as you can hear the howls from the east are also starting to come closer when you're going eastwards to the road.
I pull out my sword as well.
Okay, maybe we'll have to fight after all.
I pull out my dagger.
And weirdly enough, as you're like running down this road, you feel like there's something out there, but it keeps its distance, just following you slowly.
I stop and turn around and scout the brush at the edge of the forest.
Um, you can roll a perception check, Manis.
Can I take a look at this clearing here where we are? This side?
Yes. Seems to just be a clearing. Doesn't seem to have any other significant features to it.
So no road going this
Nope.
way. Okay.
Just me not being good at like revealing that part.
Ah, no problem. Okay.
I asked Manis if he saw something.
Nothing.
Okay, can I try to look us with him, together with him?
Roll a singular perception. Oh, actually, um, looking behind you, you see movement in the brushes far away. And at some points, you feel like you can hear twigs snapping and stuff like that, but there doesn't seem to be anything in particular that jumps out of you, or you cannot see something clearly.
Sorry.
Is that you, Manis?
Yeah, it's
Ouch.
my microphone acting up. Sorry.
Am I, it's just me, or did Benjen just disappear?
No, he's still here. He's moving his character.
Yeah, but where? I can't actually see his character.
He's here.
He's next to Manis.
How the fuck did. Okay. Apparently he has superstar. Oh, there he is. Never mind. Wait, did you say you were going eastwards there, Benjen?
No, I just following the group.
Oh, because it just seemed like it was like randomly jumping far east.
Oh,
Going back.
no.
You hightail it rather quickly. You can hear this. The howls are still there, and as you're just like moving at a fast pace, they don't really let go. They just keep on coming and coming and coming and coming. But there doesn't seem to be anything springing towards you.
Okay,
They're coming from the same direction as before, or did it change direction?
They're behind you and to the sides, as if it's almost like there's a crescent around you of noises and howls and such.
okay.
Uh,
I feel suspicious about this. If there
Does
were wolves, they would already
anyone
catch us.
anyone with a soldier's background make a intelligence check?
Benjamin, aren't you a soldier?
Um,
Um,
as soldiers,
We're not very intelligent.
Yeah.
this doesn't seem to be something you have ample experience with, as you've never done this yourself, but you have been around cavalry. And herding tactics are best used when in a crescent shape, and then you fall upon whatever you're hunting or chasing. So it seems like something is either hunting you or chasing you.
Do I have an open source of fire around?
You're in a forest.
set the forest on fire.
If you give me something to light up a crossbow bolt with, I might.
I mean, I'm sure you'll be on BBC this afternoon of how you well, basically torched Australia.
I have a tinderbox, if you want.
Okay, if you guys say that someone's chasing us in a crescent, that means that they're trying to push us toward a specific direction. Maybe we should try to change direction. Maybe they want us to go this way.
Yeah,
Let's go back
if we
to
are
the
almost
forest.
surrounded, that does not work out well. I still need a fire, please.
I have a tinderbox. I can.
Can you light
use
up a
that.
torch?
Uh,
Okay. Are you stopping to light a fire here? Because that's important.
How much time does it
No.
take to light a
no.
fire?
A couple of minutes?
But how much does it take to light a torch?
I repeat myself.
A couple of minutes.
Whoa.
No, let's go to the forest. In the forest.
Can we try to hide?
I think we're past the moment of hiding. I think we're supposed
If
to
there
brace
was, I
ourselves.
don't think you can hide from their smell and.
And if they're not wolves and there's something on that is intentionally trying to
Hurt us.
hurt us, hiding would be pointless since they already know where we are.
Yeah, let's get information then and brace for attack. You guys in front.
Which is in front?
Me and
Because
Benjamin.
Miles and Benjamin.
No. That's the back.
That's the back.
But it's where the attack will come from, right?
Yeah.
That's where the attack will come from, yes. You see Rarda just hightailing it as fast as he can. He does not stop. He does not wait. He just fucking runs for it.
It leaves us. Damn coward. Those
As you're-
mages.
As you're lingering here,
Can we look around? Sorry, for a place where we can organize like an ambush or something to defend ourselves from
Good.
them?
No, you don't get. We're in the ambush. There's no
Yeah, but-
ambushing the ambush.
Man, it's a place where we can defend ourselves better. Okay, like
okay. There are no. This is just like a wood. There are no hilltops. There are nothing in particular here that gives you cover or something like that. The best thing would be standing with your back to a tree.
can some of us who have short bows or crossbows, something like that, climb a tree and try to, if it comes to attack from there, being somehow safe from the attacks?
They are all in heavy chainmail armor.
I mean, light.
Yeah, but none of you are in light armor. You are in medium, and the rest
leather is
of the
medium,
party
yeah.
are in heavy armor.
I mean, medium as well.
Aren't you in chainmail?
It's a medium male. I mean,
Oh, then you're in medium. Never mind.
I don't have heavy
Manis,
Yeah.
scale mail.
you would see this as you're the one furthest in the back, and you are looking behind you.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just trying to select something.
Yeah. In the meantime, well, when we decided to stand our ground, I went back. I went.
Since you've been running for a bit,
Since
so
we've been.
this wouldn't necessarily be the exactly the same clearing, but I'm just using the same map as an example. While hearing the howls from the west and east of you, Manis, you see a pack stalking towards you, and you're not entirely sure how many shapes you see. You see a lot.
Holy
Most of
shit.
them are like the size of dogs, large ones at that. But there are some gargantuan shapes that seems to be almost the size of a pony.
I squint my eyes and see the.
Meanwhile, you do you're awkwardly familiar with the sound still coming from the sides, not just what's coming from behind.
I squint my eyes and see the enormous shadows of a dire wolf, and I just turn around and run past Benjamin while grabbing his cloak while yelling, "Wolves! Run!" and get the fuck out of there. Like almost
Okay.
catching up on Rauder
I
while
hear
going
them
past the other
running,
two.
and I run with them. Are the sounds to the sides the same as the ones behind?
From my understanding, no.
There are less to the sides, but there are still wolf's howls from the left and west and east of you. This is where we start rolling athletics checks to see if you have the stamina to run the fuck away.
Jesus, I'm slow.
Benjen,
Many
having
kill somebody.
it's like Benjen is unfortunate because he's quite the athletic guy. However, when Manis grabs his cloak and like tries to pull him with, he literally face plants and like almost stumbles forward, but it breaks his balance. And for the next few seconds, he has to like make sure he doesn't fall down. And because he's super athletic, he manages to stop himself from face planting on the ground. But he's lost a lot of running time here.
Meanwhile,
God.
I run like the fucking wind.
Radar is like he's not the fastest person around, but he's been hightailing it fast long before most of you, so he manages to keep himself in the lead. Managed to pull himself into second place, and then Assam, um, with Lucian as fourth. Benjamin lingering a bit behind.
A bit.
A bit.
That's like a long behind, a long way behind.
Realistically, it would be like that. Roll in another athletics check for me, if you may.
All of
All
us.
of us.
Oh, or
If you don't, if you want to stop and talk with the wolves, sure.
I already wrote that. Oh no!
Oh, fuck.
Those
Many
critical
speak
ones.
closer.
Like Lucian, like you're not used to this. Wolves? Are you sure there's wolves? It might be dogs. As you're turning around to look behind you to check, are these wolves? Yeah, they're wolves. And as you turn back to see the road, you see yourself face planting straight into a tree.
Oh, fuck.
Knock out.
As that happens, Benjamin just like shakes his head as he just sees you like, oh, and manage to overtake Rardar and Assam. You're like seeing Manage just like power on through ahead of most of you. A final athletics check, if you may.
Oh, okay.
Oh, natural 20s.
Yeah, right. You pulling my clothes on pretty quick.
He choked you with that a bit.
I guess Benjamin put his together.
It's like as a few of you now realize how thoroughly fucked you are going to be if you don't get a move on. So you just like you tunnel vision straight ahead and just barrel on through. And uh, Benjamin and Assam manage to just like push themselves on the brink of what you're physically capable on, shooting forward as a rocket. And none of you are going slow. In fact, the one that's struggling the most here is your rogue friend, as Rardar is not the most fit guy of the group. So, ironically, the one that ran the first is now starting to trail to the back of the group. But you all push yourself to the brink. You're running and you're running and you're running, and in the distance, you see a bright light. You see a bright light at the end of the forest tunnel.
Um, and since I'm furthest in the front, I'm the first one to see it, and I scream towards everyone in the back while gasping for air. Look, there's a clearing, and I dash towards it.
And you all dash towards it. And you make it through. And as you do, you like panically turn behind you and you see whatever wolves were following you seem to be stopping. And then you hear the choir of howls all along the forest line close to the road. And they just like skulk back into the forest.
While I stop to grab my breath, I exclaim, "Now I know why all those people dropped all our stuff. I wouldn't be happy in carrying someone else's gear while I had to outrun wolves."
Oh, so glad we made it. Whew, that was close.
The dogs and the wolves would have been okay, but I did saw a couple of dire wolves.
You meant the ponies?
Those were not ponies.
They were the size of bonus, sure.
I know, but they
And
look like horses, man. Come on.
in
What kind
Lucian's
of?
defense, his half concussion would probably make him say ponies at this point.
Yeah, I'm still dizzy from the hugging the tree, guys. Come on,
Yeah,
give me a break.
it's very frustrating for Lucian because it's like he's seeing stars and he's seeing mists and he's seeing fogs and he's seeing plains and he's seeing wait mists and yeah, uh, what you can see is a landscape. You're out of the woods, but you can see the forest line and it's thick. You see mountains in the distance, like huge peaks all around you, as if you're in the middle of a valley of sorts. Um, you've reached plains. There's not a lot of trees around. There's the occasional tree, but it's flat grounds. It's more open. Um, you can see the road still winds forward in the distance. Uh, you see a lot of this place is covered in mist. Um, you can see what seems to be a hamlet or some sort of grouping of houses not far from where you exited the forest.
Do
Is
we
it
see?
covered in mist?
It,
Not there, but like in terms of like up towards the mountains, far away in the distance in the valley, uh, towards far off the side of the road, towards what seems to be a river or something. There, it's especially misty. Um,
Are the threats still
far
present?
far ahead of you, at forward in the along the road, there is mist there as well. And yes, Azam, there are still tracks along the road. That has not changed.
I look around and see the mist, and I say, I think the mist basically engulfs or encircles this realm, and I think there's a little town there, and it's a good idea if we'd make camp there. It's a good chance to get some warm food and cozy bed for the night.
I couldn't agree more with you.
As Manny says that, you all kind of look around and yeah, this place is pretty huge. Like, this is a fairly large valley. And there seems to be a lot of mist or fog or whatever the hell this thing is all around this place. But you're just going by what you can see on the higher areas because you're in the plains. You're not high up to study the valley from above. But it does seem to be ominous in a way how this mist is ever present. In fact, uh, Lucian, as this is something that you're a bit uh, like curious about, the sky is gray. It's like cloudy. There's not a patch of blue sky or there's no sun. You can see the sun behind the clouds, but there's no sun. It's bright, but not as bright as that warm glow of the sun.
Looks like it's a crystal dome.
I don't know, but I can definitely feel the lack of real light of the sunshine on my skin.
It looks very much. It looks a lot like it's one of those magic crystal globes in which you have like little castles, and the mages make them snow.
You think that we are trapped inside of a crystal ball?
I think this is the only place in which the fog doesn't go in.
That's why I hate wizards. They can do such things.
I turn back and look at our friend Radar and ask, "Are you okay, little buddy? Do you need a hand?"
I'm just fine. Breath need to catch.
I pull out my what's it called, the water thing. I think it has a specific name.
Water
Sorry.
skin.
Yeah, I pull out my water skin and hand it over.
Uh, he grabs it and like takes a swig of it. Coughs noticeably as he gets water stuck down his lung.
Easy there, buddy.
Not used to running.
Well,
We've noticed.
I would like to go. Actually, Lucian goes to him and questions why he ran so fast, even though before they were even sure what we were gonna do as a group, and confronts him.
Packs, wolves, attacking packs. It's uh, one of the first things you learn about nature.
Okay, you should have warned us, man.
I thought running was. I thought everyone knew this. Who? You mean you don't know?
No.
Next time, warn us.
I wouldn't hold it that much against him. I mean, look at us. We didn't have a problem running away. If he waited, he'd probably be doggy food right now.
But what if one of us was stuck there? Wouldn't you guys go and help him?
Agreed. But on the other hand, what would have happened if he got stuck there?
It doesn't matter if you can't run faster than the wolf, you just have to run faster than the slowest one.
Which in this case is him.
Who is him?
Not if I start first.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Guys, we should move as a group next time, please. Don't spread out so much.
Okay, by the way, if Jaffa roleplays this completely different from what I'm doing now, be okay with that. I'm just
You're
going
doing
by
it
what I
great.
would think he would roleplay it as.
Yeah, but he means that if by any chance when Jaffa starts role playing, the mage turns into this incredible Hulk of physical prowess, you should be fine with it. Like, don't start contradicting him because when you played.
I'm just saying, this is just my interpretation of it from what I can understand.
Yeah. After I grab back my water skin, I go to Pete and pat him on the shoulder and say, "I'm sorry, man, for almost making you trip earlier. That was not my intention. I just thought it was not enough time to have a pleasant and civilized conversation on why we should run away."
I just chuckle and say I'm not used to the help.
When I pass by them, I just say, well, at least he didn't hit a tree.
I chuckle and go further.
While they are talking, I light up a cigarette and them with a grin on my face, thinking I wasn't the last one running.
But you were one of the fastest ones.
No, that was me.
Yeah, man, it's rolled super high on all three of his athletic
Yeah.
ones.
I
But
was
your
the last
managed.
one and ended up being the first one out of the woods.
I go to mines and say, man, I haven't seen a guy in heavy armor run as fast as you, man.
Well, I didn't want to check if my heavy armor would be any match for those fangs. That is not a question I need answered.
None of us didn't. Come on, guys, let's go to the city. To the hamlet, actually.
Yeah.
Yes, it was a hamlet.
I actually had to check on Google what the hell a hamlet is.
It's
A
What?
small
small.
city.
No, a small
Not necessarily.
small village, like smaller than a village. Usually a town that has no church or prefecture or city hall, just like a gathering of houses.
Yeah, just a few bunch of houses, I guess.
Oh,
Okay.
then I'm using the absolutely wrong word then. This is more like a. Oh, yeah, looking at Google Translate, this would be. Um, estate would be a better word for it.
Estate, okay.
Oh, so a single house,
With
like
a
a
bunch
Well,
of buildings
some
around it.
buildings,
Mhm.
but like not a
Like a
village.
vineyard.
Yeah,
More
like a
like
nobleman's estate. Like there's a huge house and there's some annex buildings around it.
that would be more apt. Yeah, sorry,
Okay.
that's just translating it poorly.
All right.
So let's go towards the main house and the big one.
Yeah,
You
I
follow
would
the
like
road.
to put some walls between me and those wolves.
Let's just go and approach it first and look from closer. Let's not rush inside.
You follow the main road. Um, you come to a fork that seems to have like an offshoot road up to this uh, estate. You notice the tracks you've been following go forward. but there are tracks from the opposite direction that seems to be going to this estate road. So there are meeting tracks that end up going up this way. But the tracks you've been following all seem to continue on in the same direction as before.
Looks like the
So someone,
caravan went past this place.
but did they join them, the caravan, or
No, it seems like the tracks have just like met each other and moved in separate directions. Your tracks you've been following continues, but there's new tracks coming from the opposite direction and going into this estate road.
all right? Let's check it out. Let's get closer to the state.
Indeed.
Okay. As you're heading closer, you do end up seeing what can best be described as a couple of buildings. One of them seems to be a house, rather large, several storied house that seems to be in a fairly decent shape. Seems to be well managed. I'm about to. I'll show you the picture of it later when I manage to upload it. I notice I haven't. There also seems to be some other side buildings, but they are a bit more in a decay than the other. There seems to be like another house that seems to be fairly dilapidated and like in a state of decay and doesn't seem to be very usable. But it's been there and it seems to have gotten overgrown enough that it hasn't been in use for probably a decade or two.
Asa,
There's a stable as well that seems to have, or at least had been a stable, but
Okay.
that seems to have been um, um, out of use for some time.
okay. Lucian goes and grabs Sam and tells him, "Let's go and look around for any signs of people or traps."
Uh, as you head up towards this house, you do actually spot uh, something that seems to be people. There seems to be two figures a bit away from the house, and as you're getting closer and closer, you see they are smaller than your regular human-sized companions. Getting even closer, you notice that they seem to be two children.
Are they
Uh,
human?
um,
Going.
Would you say that you've gotten close enough to be able to spot that? Because I'm just letting you see if anyone wants to hang back or wait or observe or stuff like that.
I would say we haven't gotten close enough, and we ask the others to join us and observe what they're doing without showing ourselves.
But they seem to be children-sized. They could be gnomes, they could be dwarves, they could be halflings, they could be kobolds, goblins, or any of these other type of races that are small, or they could be children. I'm not quite sure.
But what are they doing?
It seems like one of them, they're either embracing or hugging or something like that. They seem to be a bit hunched over, and uh, one of them seems to have their hand over the other.
Me and Lucian continue to go closer to them to see if we can either hear what they are saying or get a
And
closer look and see them.
I suggest that we send Assam in to talk to them, and we stay hidden in the bushes, like behind them, and let him do the talking and see if they're friendly or not. Let's have the kind of opportunity if they try to do anything funny.
I see no reason for treachery. Why not just go up there, all of us?
But we don't know this place. We don't know this land. We should be cautious.
Yeah, I'll go. If I die, remember me.
So you find it more cautious to send one of us by themselves?
But we'll be laying in ready to jump in and help him if something happens. He just needs to. We don't want to scare them off. If we all of us show up like five guys armored, they will run away. Let's just send Assam. He can sheath his weapons and everything, and just go out with hands up and like try to not scare those children away.
Okay, I go towards them, hands in the air, and I say hello, hoping they speak common.
You go up in distance to them so they'll be able to hear you.
Yes.
Okay. Um, as you're moving closer, it seems like these shapes seem to be human. Seem to be kids, pretty much. As you're like getting close enough to say something out, you hear some soft whimpering and like sniffles and like crying. And the second you say hello, they both startle, and one of them starts yelling out like, screaming like in fear. Uh, it seems like this is a boy and a girl at first glance. And the first thing you notice is that this girl immediately jumps in front of the boy because the seems to be shielding him and like feverishly grab on the ground to some rocks or something, and then she like throws a rock straight in your direction.
Okay.
With her throw, she manages to like hurl it barely halfway towards you. And this girl that seems to be like almost a teenager just like yells, "Ah, stay back! Stay back!" And you hear like this other boy that seems to be a lot uh, um, younger goes like, "Oh, Woj, please, no more! Oh!"
Wait, wait, wait.
Menace in full gear comes
Another
near me.
rock comes hurling far closer to you this time, just horribly to the side.
I glance at the radar with an ice cold look without saying anything and then just say, hold on, children. We're not here to harm you. Let us try at least to help. Where are your parents?
Stay back! The girl just like holds her hand out as she's like desperately trying to look for more rocks to hurl at you all. And just like she seems panicked and she seems very much shielding the younger boy with her body and just like trying to keep you away from whatever's going on.
I go to. Don't worry, we just come from the forest. We were attacked by some wolves, and we are just trying to figure out where we are. Where is there any adult here that we can talk to?
Um, roll a persuasion check.
We
I
did.
did.
Oh, yeah. Never mind. Never mind. Did not. I was more. I was more distracted by the kill them all and whether or not she heard. She did not, by the way. Um. You see the girl. Her shoulders just like slump down a bit, and she just like kneels down to this crying younger boy that, and she's like trying to shh, and like The boy is just sobbing uncontrollably, like really scared, and he's just like clutching to this stuffed doll that's just like being squeezed the hell out of at this point. But she manages to like calm him down a bit, and the girl turns to you and say, "Please, someone needs to help us. There's a monster in our house." And then she just like points back to the tall brick row house. It's seen better days, but it's in fairly decent shape, at least compared to the other buildings. You see the windows are dark. Um, it has a bit of like a gated portico on the ground floor. Uh, there's like a gate that's slightly ajar. Uh, and yeah, it just like seems, you know, dark and a bit ominous from looking at it from the outside.
I look at the door and say, "Okay, let's go and check what's in the house."
Can you tell us
Uh,
some more about those monsters?
uh, 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 and you hear the girl just like being, uh, uh, I mean, I don't know what the monster looks like, there's this terrible house. Um, our mother and father, they got visitors, and whenever they usually get visitors, they end up going down in the basement. But they didn't come out, and then we started hearing these howls, and our brother, uh, Walter, he's just a newborn, and he's up in the third floor in the nursery, and we I got scared, so I dragged Thorn with me outside. And the more frantic she gets, you hear the boy just like crying more and like, "Mommy, Daddy."
Okay, understand. No worries. We'll check it out. Third floor, nursery. Your little brother. Basement. Your parents. Yes.
Uh, yes. Uh, they, there's this. I don't want anything to happen to Walter, but I'm too scared to go inside. And if I go in and something happens, who's going to take care of Thorn? And you
He-
see her just like slowly stroking what probably is her brother's head.
Is there only one way into the basement?
Uh, I am. I don't know. We've never been allowed in the basement.
Here. Here, have some food and some water, and we'll check out and I'll come after you as soon as we see what's inside.
Please, say Walter, and and if you can, uh, find and save our parents as well.
In the
Uh,
meantime, I signal the others to come out of hiding and join us.
yeah, the map
Okay.
is still the first. I don't have a outside of an estate type of map for this.
Alright, no, cool, just making sure.
Like, I could probably find a custom map that would kinda ish be that type of a map, but I don't. I either was lazy or I didn't find one.
No worries.
I'm
Uh, while getting out of the bush, I eyed the boy and the girl and tried to figure out if they were lying or not.
Yeah, sure. Roll an insight check.
in the meanwhile. I unsteed my warhammer and my shield.
For
And I
Lucian,
make a fire.
Lucian, you seem convinced that they're speaking the truth. I was
Okay.
about to say that if someone else wanted to roll as well, one of you can.
Inside or what?
Inside, yeah.
Insight. Bassam, you've never heard such a stirring tale of bravery as these two children ran from certain danger and you know that it's your duty to go and save baby Walter. And
Yes. And I make a fire outside.
While while Asan is making a fire, I go to Radar and say, "You're going to stay here and watch over these kids, and don't believe for a second that I didn't hear you earlier. And if there's one hair gonna lie on their heads, I'm going to spike you through and eat you for dinner."
uh, um, okay.
Out of character, that's just how, in order to get out Jaffa's tune, so you don't have to actually play it.
I don't know if Jeff actually will be coming next time, so probably we. Yeah,
I will figure it out if that's the case.
I don't think it was planned that he couldn't make it today.
I know.
It was just more.
Yep.
But so just at
Sounded
least for this
accidental.
session, you don't have to play his character anymore.
Yes.
And I go and take point next to the door, shield in hand, warhammer ready, door on
I go
the
next to him.
hand on the doorknob.
Okay.
So
Is
you
the
open
door
the door
closed?
and I'm going in.
Is the door closed to begin with?
No, it's like you touch the handle and it seems to give way slightly before opening it up, so it doesn't seem too much of a lock.
Yeah, the door was closed but not locked, to answer Zuriel's question.
Okay, Manny, so you and I will go first.
Sure, let's go. I fully open the door and enter.
And I'm right behind you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sneaky.
behind them as well.
Can I go
Okay.
to stealth because it's dark inside, I presume, from what you said?
Yes, you may.
Can I need to do a roll or it's
Yeah, you need to do the roll.
Stealth checks.
I think I'm stealth.
Who said that? No idea. You're pretty undetectable as you're just like hiding up against the wall.
I just entered the room after Manis and Assam and look around for anything suspicious.
Radar was hanging back. What was Benjamin doing?
I was going to go with them.
Okay. And as you enter the house, that is where we're ending it today.
Ah,
No!
It's been 3 hours and I really need to hit the bathroom so bad.
2.5 hours. But yeah.
So, be
Yeah,
right back.
I need to get used to role playing more.
Yeah, the role playing is the hardest part. Like deciding on a character trait and a personality, sticking with it.
Yeah, it's the first time I try to roleplay, so
Yeah, you're doing very well for the first time. Like we're not expecting voice actor levels of role play.
Everyone's doing pretty good. Like voice acting and everything, storytelling. I love it.
Having fun, huh?
Yeah. I'm just glad we didn't die to those wolves. So we can see another day.
Yeah, that would have been a fight we had no chance of winning. You know the best parts about wolves is that they buff each other when they're close to each other.
I will kill the shit out of those kids.
No.
Just so you know.
Radar is back.
No, it's not.
He's mad. He's mad.
Oh, hey, Jaffa is here, but he's not online, which is weird.
He's incognito.
Yeah, he's hidden.
And he just heard whispers from the void. Like, kill them all. Kill them.
I don't even know
All
what
of
those
them.
kids are. I've barely heard any of it. I've been a bit busy.
Hey,
I just heard
Anakin
killed- I just
Skywalker,
heard,
I
I just heard
meant it.
children and I just said
Jeff will look after the children. Oh, I'll look after the children.
You have to be good. You cannot be like evil and kill them.
Killing people is not inherently evil.
Killing children is.
No,
Like-
I might think they're demons.
They need to offend you in some way in order to not be like evil. Killing
What
them
if
for no reason.
What happens if I think the kids are evil?
What reason do you have to believe they're evil?
A
You can
voice
never
told
trust
him.
children. Exactly, a voice.
Their voices are bad, right? By the way, can you change your avatar color to purple?
Mine?
Yeah.
But can I? Oh, I can.
Ooh.
Now we know which character is which.
Well, we knew that he was the one that ran first.
Yeah, that was
You're
fun.
such a chicken, man. You just run from everything.
Do I? Oh, damn, what a shame.
But at least you run faster for a mage.
He does? Because I wasn't under that impression.
Do we know what each of our characters is?
Yeah, we know what each character is. We know that I'm a fighter. We know that Benjen is a paladin. We know that Radar is a mage. Lucian is a cleric. And you seem awfully what's it called?
Rogue.
Not
Rogue.
yeah, rogue, but I wanted to go with awfully casual and common. So you're probably a rogue.
Well, that Warhammer didn't by accident got stuck to the
Yeah.
backpack.
At least my goat is safe. I mean, I counted it 5 times.
And
What
I found
gold?
all my tobacco. No, his gold is safe. I counted it as well.
Insert that meme here with what you guys are getting. You guys have gold?
Yeah, but he's my friend. I cannot take from him. I mean, you, Menace, I don't know, but I met Lucian before.
At least he knows that I don't have much goat.
Yeah. I've met Lucian and Jaffa. Or Radar, sorry.
Oh, you can go whatever you like.
I'm still gonna kill those kids.
I meant what I said earlier. I know you heard it.
I didn't. I heard a hair of their head, and I was like, that means they are definitely dying. You're gonna come back, and it's gonna be like a knife kind of placed the wrong way in their hand. So they started it.
I mean, Radar, if you're gonna start with the hair, don't stop there. They call their hairs.
Jesus Christ.
I don't even know what the kids are. Or do I missed half of that? I missed like everything tonight.
No, we just met the kids. I mean, it's nothing.
We just met some very nice horses, which were wolves.
Ponies.
Ponies.
Ponies. Yeah, sorry, ponies. We saw you running like a chicken from them.
Not very effectively either. I mean,
Somebody face planted with the ground. Somebody with the trees.
Benjen didn't face plant into the ground. He managed to keep it all together. He didn't fall.
Yeah,
Oh.
but I did hug a tree, so
Face first,
it hurt.
full speed.
Does it still hurt?
Yeah, my nose is almost broken.
We can help you with that.
Break it
How?
entirely.
Exactly. No
Oh,
reason to have it almost broken.
You guys are such a friendly group.
Indeed.
I'm so glad I met you.
And I call you a friend, you know? Imagine if you are not a friend.
Yeah, exactly. You would break my nose and take my money. Now you can just break my nose. So Jaffa, we found a magic gate, and we were chased by a magic fog.
Inside the
And,
magic forest.
Yeah, inside the magic forest, and the gate seemed to stop the fog from going inside. And yeah,
Does by
basically we
anyone
found our
chance know
gear.
my character?
Well, me and Assam know it.
Did anyone? No, you wouldn't have done. None of you know that ability. Damn it!
What?
What?
What ability?
Detect magic.
We did try to.
Oh.
We asked you several times to tell us whether there is magic, and everything around us was magic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be.
By the way, to Zuri and to Cubic, whenever Yuan silently asks you to do a roll, like for example, especially this is going to be stuff that is going to affect a lot for Cubic because he's a rogue and he's going to do shit that we're not supposed to hear about it. So if you do a /R in the chat box, it's do a
Okay.
/R 2d4, for example, it rolls a two-sided the two dices of 4 sides, right? Because that's the
Yeah, we know that.
okay. But if you do a /GR roll, so it's /GR instead of /R, and you do a 1d4, then it just silently rolls one four-sided die that only the GM sees. Make sense?
Okay, with yeah, put a G in front of it.
Exactly. I don't know why you can play as a lantern. I can play as a lantern as well, or a torch. I know everyone can.
Let's all be torches or lanterns.
Did you use the action when I was using Detect magic to see if any of the objects were magic?
No.
Ah,
We didn't actually cast any spells. Yet.
no, you can cast Detect magic. It's a spell I have as a ritual. It doesn't use any
Okay.
spell slots.
Well, we didn't really do that.
No, we
I
didn't.
know. None of you will know what it is from Manus Might.
No, I know what it is. I didn't know you have it as a as an action, as a
Ritual.
usable spell.
Yeah.
Especially as a
Oh, well.
ritual.
As
How
a
long?
as a ritual means it takes like 10 minutes in order to for him to
Yeah.
cast it.
Yeah, I don't think we had 10 minutes.
We had when we picked up our gear.
Mhm,
Yeah,
we
but
had.
that was
casted.
the only place.
Well,
It-
that was the magic place, so
Yeah, that's when it mattered actually.
that's when he told us that everything was magic up there.
I'm going to jump off, boys. So I'll see you next week.
Okay,
See you later.
See you, man.
see you later, mate.
Bye.
Jaffa, you're gonna be able to join in later, right? I mean, next week,
I
or at
don't
least
know.
try to. Or...
I hope so. I was trying to tonight. I literally jumped as I was jumping on. I opened up the stream and heard